to me, give it 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 to me. Give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me.
G'day guys, I'm Average Dom Slim and today I'm reviewing the Metaspeed Paris. Now it's Asics' newest version of their carbon-plated super shoe, specially named after the Paris Olympics, which I had on this very TV before I switched off to make this very vid. Yeah, you're welcome. Now this is what it looks like. It's a gorgeous shoe. It's a little bit dirty, but that's only because I've been wearing it. Now, Asics have been making very good shoes for a very long time. They've been making very good joggers, albeit a little bit ugly for a long time, and they're finally making good looking joggers now, and they're still good. Their super shoes, however, have always been good looking, and they've always been good. So the headline is this. Is this a good shoe? Yeah, it's pretty fantastic. Is it better than the Metaspeed Sky Plus, the previous version? We'll see. And is it the right shoe for you? We'll also see. Now, a very quick disclaimer before we start, Asics did send me this pair of shoes. It smells amazing. It's absolutely sick. What's the other one look like? Damn, that's cool. Guess I've found my new race shoes. They did not ask me to review it. They have not sponsored this video. That is unfortunate. I wish they did. But that just means that this is a very honest review of how I feel about these shoes. No strings attached. Now, I've only had these shoes for about 2.5 months. I've probably worn them for about 100K, but that includes everything from some races through to fast speed sessions. Let's dive in. Now let's start with something pretty critical. Is this the right shoe for you? One of the unique things about Asics Super Shoe is that they make two versions, the Sky and the Edge. Now they do that differentiating two types of runners. Whether you believe there's really two types of runners is completely up to you. But in essence, if you have long, powerful strides, this shoe is probably going to suit you. If you're more one to have light, fast, short type of strides, then it might not be the best shoe for you. However, they do have the Edge. It also might not be the best shoe for you if you require a bit of support in your super shoes. In those cases, you might want to consider something like the Saucony Endorphin Pro 4. Now, technically, the main difference between the Sky and the Edge is the plate positioning within the midsole, which makes a little bit of difference to whether you're a toe striker or a heel striker. The Sky and the Edge are pretty much identical. I do wish they made them just a little bit more different, give them a little bit more personality. So if you've checked that first box, yeah, I have long, powerful strides, so this is going to be perfect for me. You also might want to consider, what do you want these shoes for? What kind of distances do you want them for training or races? Now, in saying that, it's good to consider, but I think of these as an extremely versatile shoe. My first ever run in these was a 5K park run.
Good morning, I'm Average Dom Slim, and I'm feeling pretty fresh this morning, but not as fresh as these Metaspeed Sky Paris that Asics just kindly sent me. So we're here for my first ever run in these bad boys. As you can see, haven't even worn them yet. We're at Kira Park Run on the beautiful Gold Coast, and I'm gonna see just how fast these guys really are. Get on to the park run. They're quick, debut in the new shoes and a new 5K PB.
They're also great for really fast interval speed sessions. I also ran them for a 15K race, got a PB, also came first. And I got a half marathon PB in them. Now, I've heard and read different things about what the Metaspeed Paris are best for. Some say it doesn't have the long distance comfort to suit the marathon, like an Alpha Fly or an Endorphin Pro does, and that it's better for shorter, sharper efforts, because you get more bang for your buck. But at the same time, I've seen, and I'm sure you've seen, some of the fastest marathoners in the world wearing these shoes and getting some fantastic marathon times.
Has closed this gap. Shepard Gatich tries to respond, nothing there. Sarah Hall is going to take second place.
Now, I've thrived in these shoes for shorter distances, but I was also going to wear these for the marathon. I won't lie to you though, in the lead up to the marathon, I was having second thoughts about wearing these for the marathon, and I was scoping around a little bit for a comfier shoe. However, I got injured and it all became an academic exercise anyway. Now there's really no replacement for trying on a shoe. Now I can tell you in theory about the fit and the feel, but I highly recommend you going into a shoe store and putting them on your footsies and doing that funny little run that we do around the store to see if it feels good. Now the upper, it's super light and airy, has lots of breathability, and it's particularly good for when you're sweating. Maybe it's a little bit tight and you could consider going up half a size, but this is why I say go try them on. There's new foam. FF Turbo, which stands for flat foam. Flat foam. Apparently, this is very energy saving and it's slightly softer than the Metaspeed Sky Plus. However, it has a bit of a high arch. Now for some runners, i.e. me, it's a little bit uncomfortable. Again, it's totally personal preference and it is something you'd find out if you go into a shoe store and try them on. Overall, it's super light, even lighter than its predecessor, which was already very light. So if you want a light shoe, this is one of the lightest super shoes on the market. Now, how does it stack up against its predecessor, the Metaspeed Sky Plus? I actually preferred the previous ones. They were my favorite shoe that I've ever owned. Look, here are some of the good times that we had together. But overall, it comes down to a few simple things. One is that they're very similar. Now, I think of Apple iPhone upgrades. Now, I know if you read a lot about the technical specs, in almost every way, they've been upgraded. But in terms of the feel, what they feel like for a running shoe, it doesn't feel much different. And it's similar when you get a phone from one to the next and you're like, they've said 1 million things have changed, but it pretty much feels like the same phone. The second thing for me is the high arch. Just personally, it doesn't feel as great as its predecessor. So overall, I still prefer the old boys. Durability, it's alright. It's already starting to wear after about 100 kilometers. Maybe some would consider that's quite good. For me, for an expensive shoe, it's still disappointing. Again, to go back to that iPhone, you spend so much money on it and it starts dying after about 2 years and they just say, well, that's what they last these days, but why? So I say average because they're probably gonna last the same as your other race shoes or super shoes, but overall, I feel like the super shoes have some work to do in their durability. So overall, pros and cons. Pros, they are very light, very fast, energetic, bouncy. I find them very versatile, they're good looking, and they're perfect if you have powerful long strides. On the other hand, the high arch doesn't feel great. It's barely different from its predecessor. It's expensive. It's not as suitable for light, fast, short strides, and has a bit of a narrow upper fit, so you could consider going up half a size. As I said, most importantly, go try them on. It's very much around personal preference. But overall, this is a great choice for a super shoe. If you try them on and they feel good, you're probably gonna run really, really fast. Now, I'm currently looking for the best marathon shoe on the market for my next marathon. I don't know when that will be, so let me know what your favorite marathon shoe is in the comments below. I'm Average Tom Slim. Do the right thing, like, subscribe, and call your mum. She's been waiting for a call and she'd really appreciate it.